For the Winfield Town Council meeting with the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Mike.
Mr. David Anderson. Miss Amy Blaker.
Present.
Mr. John Derwinski.
Here.
Mr. Tim Clayton.
Present.
Mr. Zach Beaver.
Present.
Mr. Nick Bellar.
Here.
Tony Clark. Not present. Mr. Mike, Sean Finney.
Here.
Mr. David Ashton.
Present.
Chief Robert Bird.
Here.
And I am Michael Lambert. Good evening.
Thank you, Michael. First up, we have public comment. Anybody wishing to speak on an agenda item? Seeing none, we're going to move on to citizens requesting placement on the agenda. Mr. Corcoran. If you would state your name and address, please. I think you know the drill at this point.
Absolutely. Got it down to a science now.
At least somebody does.
Yes. The agenda looked a little thin, so I figured I'd just add a little more time to what's going on.
Appreciate that.
Good evening. I'll keep it brief. My name is Chris Corcoran. I'm at 6744 Deer Creek Court in Deer Creek Estates here in beautiful Winfield, Indiana. Love the new chairs, by the way. Is this why property taxes are going to be going up? It's just, hey. Very comfortable.
Technically, they're going to be going down by $300.
Excellent.
Enjoy it.
Yeah. Great.
Maximum.
The few times I've been up here, as I'm sure you all know, I've kind of had a running theme of how can I be useful to the council, to the town of Winfield, and I'm just trying to kind of dial in what I'm looking to achieve with these little side projects that I do. And ultimately, I really just want to help my friends and my neighbors better understand what the town is doing right now and what the direction of the town is and why it's all important. We have a neighborhood HOA Facebook page and a semi-quarterly newsletter that we send out that I volunteered to start adding some basic info on the town to just see if it could be of use to the people in the neighborhood. And that's easier said than done because what I'm trying to do is look at what's actually of value that can be condensed and summarized. And when you look at all the different meeting minutes from the different boards, spreadsheets from the annual budget and the finances, the 93-page annual town master plan, it's a lot of data to try to condense down and keep it organized, but I'm going to attempt to do it. And it's what I've noticed on certain things, like even on the agenda today, there's items like under new business, it says introduction of extension of services levy appeal. Now I bet 95% of people that read something like that have no clue what that means. And I didn't used to either. That's at no fault of the council. It's just what it is. But I don't think it's realistic for the town to adjust the agenda and put a glossary of terms and here's what levy means, here's what this means, and then have an itemized detailed list of, well, here's why this is important, here's why it's happening, here's why it's being discussed. That's not realistic. The juice isn't really worth the squeeze to take the time to do that for every item on every agenda, which I understand. But I'm going to attempt to do that on my own, just for this little HOA project. So I'm starting with 3 things that I'm going to include on our Facebook page in our next newsletter, which is probably still too much data. But the 3 things are a snapshot of last year's town financial reports, how that compares to the 2025 budget, where the revenue comes from, what the big expenses are. As simple as I can do that. Number 2 would be what occurred at each of the recent town board meetings, which is a lot. I've read through the minutes. They're very detailed. They're very great. But I might start with, well, here's what each of the boards does. Here's what they're responsible for and why. And here's maybe one thing of note that might have happened at a recent event. The third thing would be, as much as I can, a brief summary of the 23 town master plan, why it exists, what's been accomplished, such as the 109th roundabout and that hill shaved down, the water tower, the wastewater treatment plant, the bigger projects that are critical that had to happen. I'm going to need to workshop that a little bit, and maybe no one will read it in my neighborhood and no one will care, but one person does, I'm going to do it anyways, and that's better than nothing, and that's a start. So at a minimum, I think me trying to keep up with everything that happens in the town, the news, and just trying to organize that data will help me pass some of that knowledge on to the people that don't come to these meetings and aren't as involved in the town. To bring it back to my initial point of how can I be useful to the council and to the town, what is the point of all these talks that I give and the involvement that I'm trying to start from scratch. I'm hoping that if some of our Deer Creek neighborhood residents give me some positive feedback on this little snippet I'm going to include, maybe that could be included in the Winfield quarterly newsletter or something to that nature. I'm not going to be able to attend every town council meeting, but for the ones that I do try to attend, I'd like to start reporting on things that I hear from friends, neighbors. Something like, maybe there's one complaint that keeps coming up. And Zach, you've been very involved on social media. I'm not even talking about just social media, but just conversations. Something that keeps coming up that people have an issue with. Maybe I talk to that person or not, but what could the council do to address it? And then maybe something that's positive. An idea that somebody has that might align with the master plan, or just some positive feedback on what you all have been doing to help run the town. Something like that. And also, I'm hoping that there are some residents that want to attend meetings and maybe aren't able to for whatever reason, or if they have something that they want to share with the council, maybe coming up to the lectern and giving a little talk is a little too unnerving, because public speaking is hard, I get it. I mean, in any format, it's not built for everybody to do, and that's fine. So I have no idea how many people watch this on YouTube now, but I think that's great that we have a live stream. If there's somebody out there that has something they want to share with the town and they can't attend a meeting or don't want to come up here, I'd be more than happy to share that on their account. Just an idea. If they want to keep it anonymous and not have their names involved, that's fine. Just an idea that I'm throwing out there. So that's all I have for today. Appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
I think we all appreciate your engagement. I mean, you're by far probably one of the most active residents coming to the meetings. And I, obviously you and I, and, most of us share kind of an open dialogue, which I appreciate. And I appreciate you kind of engaging all the people in the community. That's been a very effective thing, is just being accessible to people. And, even at Harvest Fest, you walk around and people are like, oh, hey, you're the guy who just posts stuff sometimes. Like, yeah, and sometimes that's the case, but you have to have an outlet, and I think the more outlets we have for information, the better. And that hasn't always been the case, and some of that's our failing, some of it is just kind of a product of catching up. The town grew really quickly, and so you have to adjust to that. But I think the more avenues we have for that, for releasing information, especially the direct communication with neighborhoods, I think that's better. And it influenced me a little bit. When I lived in Windance, and you talk to neighbors, you're there, you're getting the feedback, and then when I came to the council, I remember hearing stuff that's like, this is stuff my neighbors talked about 2 years ago, and then it comes up at the council level. And so you don't necessarily, it may not be necessarily relevant at the moment, but then you're thinking about it like, well, what would my neighbors have wanted me to do in this situation? And then you let that guide you, as you make decisions, or in your case, coming up here and engaging with us and making sure, part of it is holding us accountable, but part of it is also just providing constructive feedback so that we can, what are we making these decisions based on if we don't get any feedback from the community? And I think that's important, so I appreciate you kind of taking that mantle.
And instead, the common theme that I keep hearing is feedback. Positive, negative feedback. We've all heard the term that feedback is a gift. So it's a gift. However we get it, we can't fix anything if we don't know. And whether if it's through social media, we talk about friends, neighbors, what you're planning on doing here, any type of feedback, that's how we build, that's how we grow, that's how we come together as a community in that. So I appreciate you doing that. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, we'll move on. Anybody else requesting placement? Not related. Seeing none, we're going to move on to minutes to be approved.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the meeting minutes of the executive session of August 26th and town council meeting of August 26th.
Second.
We have a motion by Tim and a second by John. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Staff reports. Nick?
See the building department data on the next sheet, but the main item I want to talk about on the staff report is I just want to thank Monica and staff and Iris and Tony, who's not here, for the excellent work they did on the Harvest Festival. Preparation, tear down, was a great event. I always feel like it's the highest attendance of all time, every time we have a Harvest
I think
Fest.
it is.
And I definitely got a sense of, it was just super busy this year. It
Yeah.
was like everyone had a good time. The drone video turned out really nice.
Yep.
And all the photos that we have posted on our Facebook page. Everybody should check it out.
Thanks, Nick. Yeah, and I would agree, kind of to the point, Chris and Monica, a lot of what I saw was shout outs to you for all the hard work and just getting it coordinated and all that. So I think people take notice of that even in the community when it's not necessarily as obvious. I appreciate the Nick's kind of highlighting your role and Tony and staff's role and all that, but I think people in the community see that too, and you can see that, on social media and stuff, so it's definitely felt, whether or not that necessarily reverberates in this building, the community appreciates it.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, every interaction that I had to everybody in town, they agreed that keeps getting bigger and bigger every year. Plenty of people talked about the small thing that we started out with, but it all had to start with something small. And all the hard work that you guys put in and the running around, the sleepless hours and everything, we really appreciate it, and thank you so much.
Do you know what attendance was?
A lot.
More than last year.
Yeah, that's the whole. And our sponsorship, I don't know, how did we do on sponsor? We had good sponsorships, right? I mean, that's awesome. Okay.
So for people that can't hear, you said it was 3,000, last year was 3,000 attendance. You think we went over that and is record sponsorships this year?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you again.
Which is another, I think, is also kind of a testament to the community, the fact that it's growing every year, the, local business owners and restaurants and everybody are jumping in on it and trying to help out too. So it's a good event. It's going to continue to get bigger, which I'm excited to see. Yeah, right. I think having it earlier in the year though does help. Just a couple weeks earlier, so it's not as dodgy.
It'll be later next Thursday.
After Popcorn Fest? Or before?
Is there a Notre Dame game that day?
Yep. Very good.
So that's September 19th is next year's? Next year's Harvest Fest, September 19th. Okay, thank you.
Is that it, Nick?
That's it.
All right. No Tony, Chief Bird.
Good evening. All of you should have our August 25 activity report in your packets. And just two things quick for me. I also was going to congratulate the town on the Harvest Fest. We had 3 officers there, had a great time, gave us a real opportunity to interact with the public. Everybody was so kind, and a lot of questions about law enforcement. And so, Monica, great job. And one other thing real quick here is that we recently experienced some thefts from vehicles in the Doubletree Estates community. And it was about 2 weeks ago. And then about 2 a.m. Monday morning, our officers responded to assist Lake County officers in the Lakes of the Four Seasons for somebody that was ransacking vehicles. And Winfield Police ended up making an arrest in that case in the Point subdivision, where a vehicle had been ransacked, and the resident, a young juvenile, was taken into custody at that time and incarcerated at the Lake County Juvenile Detention Center for a host of charges. But I guess the one thing I do want to say is that to remind everybody that every night, you need to remove all items of value from your vehicles and always lock your cars, because you never know what time, day or night, that people are going to come pulling up on door handles, looking to get into your car to steal property. And that's what it was with this young man. We think we can we're hoping we can tie the Doubletree Estates thefts to the ones in Lakes of the Four Seasons. It's looking that way. We'll let you know. But the important thing is we got the young man off the street and hopefully going to get him some help. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
We do not have a representative from the fire department, so we're going to move on to unfinished deferred business. Update on 2024 109th and Green Place roundabout.
Milestone let me know late last week that they believe they've finished the punch list. I still need to go and check over everything. There is one item that's outstanding that we discovered yesterday. The tree subdivision sign was removed prior to the project. It's in the bid documents to remove and reset. We need to track that down and have Milestone reset it. So
Once that's all done, are the signs all coming, the other sign, the temporary signs all coming down? I noticed there's still some on 109th near Deer Creek and, okay.
yeah, we had them keep everything up until they were done with the punch list, and now this.
Okay.
So
So once that sign's installed, the rest of it all, it'll be done, everything will be clean. Okay,
Exactly.
Perfect.
Well, they're not done with the punch list.
But that wasn't on the punch list originally.
So they're not done.
So, yeah. Correct.
We'll want to be highly involved in placement of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And somebody, I'm assuming, is gonna consult with the HOA and all that to make sure. there's
Part
no
of the
HOA.
issue with trees is there is no HOA, so it's.
Or who's managing the sign? Who maintains the sign? I guess is the
There's a
question.
collection of residents
Okay,
in
so-
there who kind of act as an HOA,
Right.
but there's no legal HOA.
Right. So who's good? We just need to coordinate with those people because I don't want to. We don't want to have places somewhere and it's like, what are you guys doing?
That's the
You know?
plan.
Okay, got it. Thank you. All right, on to 2025 CCMG road projects.
The majority of the work is done on this. They're just Milestone's chasing through all of the sprinklers that they damaged and replacing them, and the electrical fences, and then backfilling the sidewalks.
Very good. On to new business. Introduction of the 2026 budget. Mike?
We are on track to have the budget ready by the first week of October for the October 7th meeting. There will be a publication. The budget is, lack for another term, it's relatively unchanged from last year except for raises that are going out for town employees. With the effects of SB 1, I need to caution the council on future projects. We need to concentrate on revenue, and items 2 and 3 will attempt to address that. So going forward, our share of property taxes will be going down, as you are aware. And this is where we're at.
Very good. Nick?
That budget number is $13,943,711. As Mike noted, it could be end up being substantially less based off of the excess levy, or the levy appeals, excuse me, that we'll talk about here coming up. So this is introduction and authorization for a public hearing on October the 7th, right, which is going to be a special meeting of the town council.
That'll be a Tuesday?
Yes.
Yeah. This is the budget that's going to be submitted to the state. They are going to review it, and whether or not they approve all of it, some of it, or none of it remains to be seen. Because they're going to look at it, and I'm sure there are certain portions which they may frown upon. So we'll see where we're at.
All right.
So just authorize it to public hearing.
Make a motion that we assuming we need a motion, so I'll make a motion that we authorize public hearing for the 2026 budget. I'll second.
We have a motion by Dave and a second by Tim. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. We'll have our hearing on Tuesday, October 7th. Item number 2, introduction of 3-year growth levy appeal. Nick?
This is the last year that the legislature is allowing municipalities to do an excess levy appeal. So we are taking that final opportunity. The amount for that we could get, if it's approved by the Department of Local Government Finance, is $216,277. It would follow the same schedule, public hearing on the 7th, final approval on the 20th, and then we submit it to DLGF and we find out probably December if we received it or not. So when I say the budget could be less, it could be minus that amount.
Right. All right, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to send what do we got? The growth levy appeal in the amount of $216,277.
For the hearing.
And set the hearing for October 7th.
We have a motion by Tim,
I'll second.
second by Dave. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Item number 3, introduction of extension of services levy appeal. Nick?
Again, this is another levy appeal that the state is eliminating. This is the last year to do this. The town council has identified public safety priorities. The levy appeal being submitted is for a total of $1,193,456.78. Again, it follows the same schedule that we talked about as far as public hearings and approvals. And we would hear again in December if we get it. If we don't get it, the budget is subtracted by that amount.
Very good. I'll entertain a motion.
Before we do that, can I ask the number again, please?
Absolutely. $1,193,456.78.
I make a motion that we apply for the extension of services levy appeal, the amount of $1,193,456.78, and setting the meeting for that of October 7th.
Public hearing.
Public hearing, correction.
We have a motion by Tim for the public hearing for the extension of services levy appeal.
I'll second that.
And a second by John. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 4, consideration of resolution 25-01 ADA transition plan update. David or Sean?
I can do that.
Okay,
I got
there
it.
you go.
This is related to compliance with the CCMG program. Requires that we have these documents up to date. Since the last update, the council has changed, staffing has changed, so we're just updating the resolution to reflect.
Very good.
And updating the plan, excuse me. Updating the plan, adopting the resolution.
Make a motion that we adopt resolution number 2025-01, entitled only, a resolution adopting an Americans with Disability Act transition plan in accordance with the terms, conditions, and requirements under the applicable federal law and all matters related thereto.
Second. We have a motion by Dave and a second by John. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
One more item on that. Can we get an additional motion to allow signatures of related documents? There'll be kind of follow-up documents on this outside the meeting. That way we can get that updated.
Do you want the president to?
Who needs to sign?
You would have to sign it, Zach.
Make a motion that we allow town council president to sign documents in conjunction with the resolution on the American Disabilities Transition Plan.
Second. We have a motion by Dave and a second by John. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The motion carries. Item number 5, consideration of resolution 2025-02, Title VI Plan Non-Discrimination Agreement Update.
Again, this is CCMG and NDOT related. Have to have these documents up to date to reflect the current elected officials and staff associated with oversight of the plan. And that resolution is kind of, so in your books, that if you go back to the last page of
Thank you.
that and then back up 2 sheets, you'll see the resolution.
I'll make a resolution, or I'll make a.
I will also need outside meeting signatures
Yeah.
by Zach.
Thank you.
Make a motion that we adopt resolution 2025-02 in title only, Title VI Plan Non-Discrimination Agreement Update, a resolution adopting a Title VI Plan Non-Discrimination Agreement in accordance with terms, conditions, requirements under applicable law, federal law, all matters related thereto. Additionally, allowing Zach or the town council president to sign all related documents.
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Dave and a second by John. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 6, consideration of pay application number 19 to Hassey Construction for wastewater treatment plant Phase 2.
The total of this changed since posting, and now that total is now $507,201. The contractor is able to get more punch list items completed.
Perfect.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion that we pay the pay application number 19 for Hassey Construction Wastewater Treatment Plant Phase 2 improvements in the amount of $507,201.00.
I'll second
As the
that,
recommendation from the sewer board.
and I will second that.
We have a motion by Tim and a second by John. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the motion carries. Anybody wishing to make, or anybody in the public wishing to comment on any items? Seeing none, we're going to move on to treasury report. Mike?
Good evening. For your review, consideration, and approval, you have 9 pages of claims totaling $366,507.79.
I would like to make a motion to pay the claims in the amount of $366,507.79.
Okay.
We have a motion by Tim and a second by Dave. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. And our next meeting will be October 7th at 5:30.
Motion to adjourn.